So what is the rental market in Athens, Georgia doing at the present time? I'm Justin Woodall with Iron Horse Property Management, and I want to just kind of give you an update of what we're seeing when it comes to rental property, rent rates, how long is it taking to get properties rented. Just want to kind of give you an overview of what the market looks like. So what we're seeing this year when it comes to supply and demand and rent prices, we have seen an increase in supply over the last several months or the last year. And what do I mean by that? Well, there are a lot more rental properties on the market. If you just ride through Athens, you'll see new apartments have been built, new rental housing has been built. And what does that do? That saturates the market. We've got availability for people. And so you've got more homes for people to move into that are paying rent. The other part that I feel like is affecting supply is you have owners that are deciding to become landlords as opposed to selling their homes. Now, why are they doing that? They locked in a 3% or 2.75% interest rate back during COVID, and they're deciding, hey, rather than sell this house, our payment is really low, let's keep it, let's rent it, and we can make $500 a month, we can make $1,000 a month, whatever it is. So you've got owners putting more supply on the market, you've got new builders and apartment owners and apartment builders putting new inventory on the market. So that allows more supply, and think back to your basic economics class, more supply on the market, and then what are we seeing on demand? So in the demand side of things, people still want to live in Athens, so they're not moving away. But the challenge is we've got inflation. We've got people that their budgets are just being squeezed. It's costing them more at the grocery store. It's costing them more for everything that they buy. And so they're being squeezed. And so they're going, I can't pay the rent, that I used to pay, or I've got to find something smaller. Or what we're seeing some of them do, I think, is move back in with family, move in with roommates. So rather than fill up the supply, we're seeing more people move in together. So the demand, I feel like, has actually decreased a little bit, even though, people are still living in the area. And maybe even if demand is staying level, we've still got an increase of supply that we didn't have before. They're feeling the squeeze now. When rates were surging back during COVID, they were surging because there was plenty of money. People were getting checks in their mailbox. They could afford to pay the rent, and it was flowing abundantly. And so people were willing to pay it. What does that do to rental prices and the rental market? We're starting to see it kind of soften. It's starting to flatten out. We're not seeing the huge rent increases that we saw. We're seeing it's taking a little bit longer to fill properties sometimes. And we're finding that if an owner really wants to push the rent and try to maximize and maybe go above market, that property's sitting and it's taking a lot longer to rent. We recommend against that because oftentimes if you have a property sit empty for a couple of months, that is income you're not receiving. Whereas if you price it just $100 cheaper, sometimes it gets rented and then you're able to get that income coming in and flowing in. So that's what we're seeing on the rental market, flattening out, softening just a little bit. And it's because we've seen an increase in supply, flattening or decrease in demand. And again, going back to basic economics, that affects the rent price and causes it to flatten or soften or drop just a little bit. So I hope that's been helpful. If you want an analysis on your specific rental property, reach out to us at Iron Horse Property Management. We'll be glad to tell you exactly what you can expect to get if you're thinking about renting your property.